Okay, so I just got done watching episode 5 of my Adventures with Superman, The Death of Superman, which has a double meaning title. But I want to talk about the episode and all the Dragon Ball and anime like inspirations from the episode. So we're going to do that, and we're going to talk about the episode in general. First off, we're going to start with, yes, I'm reviewing my Adventure with Superman, but we're going to start off with the start, and we're going to review the episode first. This was one of, is not the best episodes of my Adventures with Superman. And I am going to tell you exactly why. This had everything. It had emotion, fighting, everything you could have asked for in an episode of My Adventures with Superman. This episode was so good. When I say so good, it was so good. So first of all, we start off the episode where we left off with them going to fight. I think his name is Cyborg Superman, but he kind of seems more like the villain Metallo. But I know that they have like the little Metallo drones, they call them, but he seems more like the villain Metallo. And then he does, I am going to do a separate video on him, but he does seem to share a lot of parodies to like villains like Perfect Cell, Frankenstein, and even Android 7 and 18 from the future timeline of DBZ. But so we start off with that. He tells Lois that they're all dead in the future, except Kara. We learn she was kind of like his Gohan with Future Trunks, and he shares a lot of parallels with Future Trunks. But we learned that he was sent back in time to stop them, that they're going to kill Superman, and like this is going to be like the end of Superman. This is going to be like his final fight, like in the movie or the comic Death of Superman when he fights Doomsday. And he does share the villain does share some parallels to Doomsday too, because of his attempted murder of Superman. Okay, so we cut to the fight. The villain is angry because he's like, you took everything from me. They don't love me, they love you. But if you see in this fight, and throughout the course of the fight, like especially later, it turns more to they took everything to this is mine, to you took what I was supposed to be, to now this is mine. So you kind of see that possessive energy that he has towards the earth. He thinks that he should be in charge and control the earth, and he thinks that they should worship him like God instead of like seeing him like Superman sees everyone as equal, and that we should all come together. And he doesn't see himself as just a God ruling over mortals, but he seems to see himself as that. And that's kind of like his God complex and ego-driven motivation. But throughout the fight, it's really good. Like, you see he uses kryptonite a lot. He uses his drones. He uses technology to make the planes go crazy. He has Superman on the ropes this entire fight. Like, he is beating Superman. So you see Superboy come and help. They kind of fight Superman, but he's still beating them. Lois Lane, she kind of goes to Lex Luthor to say like, okay, you got to stop him. But Lex Luthor at first is resistant, even though he sees all the destruction he's going on. But then he decides to help him because it's like, okay, once he's done with him, he's going to come after me. So he tries to hack into them while they're fighting Metallo. Metallo is kind of, Cyborg Superman. Cyborg Superman still kind of beating their ass real bad. Then he like, oh, Lex Luthor's trying to help me. Then you see that he has like a lot of technology. Like, he has built-in things that kind of make him move like a DBZ character where they teleport. And he teleports to Lex is finna kill her. Then Lex, like a coward ass, just Lex Luthor, like, oh my god, he's really a coward at this. But he pushes Lois Lane in front of him to take the boss. Like, and at first he's like, oh, Lois. And she's like, Hank, please. And he's like, no. See, so all that like moral stuff that he's talking about, he doesn't believe it anymore. He's completely lost his way. He's completely become the villain. But then you kind of see, and throughout this whole fight, Jonathan Kent is not getting affected by the radiation. Is like, he's not getting affected by the kryptonite as much as like Kara and Superman are, like, they're getting really affected. They can't even get close to it. It's kind of like, I like the way that they portray kryptonite in this, in the new Superman movie. It's kind of like they're allergic to it. So, like, it's like he's throwing rocks so he doesn't get it close, but it's like he doesn't really get that affected by the kryptonite as much as they do. So he's kind of throwing that stuff at it, like trying to get him to come over here. He comes over here, he takes the bait, and then he's like, oh my god, why are you trying to stay away from kryptonite? But then he kind of beats Jonathan because, like, Jonathan isn't really that strong when it comes to fighting him. And then, so once he does that, he, like, Kara, they kind of have a heart-to-heart because he's like, whoa, why are you so scared of me? Why don't you want to stand by me or something like that? Because she kind of been peeping that the whole time. But then he's like, oh, you trained me. Basically, she was like, it's Gohan. You trained me. You taught me that the world was kind and all this. And then you died. Like, Android 1718 killed Gohan in Dragon Ball Z. And it was like, oh my god. So it's like, I can't let you die. Then it was like, okay, we stand in battle. Okay, so her and Superboy go out to fight, but Superboy reveals that he got a kryptonite armor, and I guess he gives her half of it. Their technology is advanced and kind of strange. But I actually noticed that Supergirl is kind of like Vegeta, but I'm going to be making a separate video on that when I make my Cyborg Superman video after it. But, okay, so they go and fight Cyborg Superman. They kind of whoop him ass. They take off both of his arms, which is probably a reference to Android 16 and him constantly losing his arms or his arms falling off in the series, and also a lot of Dragon Ball characters. Like, Cyborg Superman seems to be more of a parallel to Sayo, too, a little bit. And it's like, he just loses his arms. He gets them back, but he doesn't grow them back like Sayo does. But he eventually gets the better of Supergirl and what's it called? Superboy. And he's finna kill Superboy, but then Superman, he has his Super Saiyan transformation. He was like, ah! He has his rage, but it looks like his Super Saiyan transformation kind of burns through a lot of his reserves, and like he goes beyond his limits. So then he charges and he demolishes Cyborg Superman, Hank, and he just beats him. And then he takes kryptonite out, rips it, and destroys it. But it seems like he's very weakened from this, and we later learn he loses his powers. But then, once he got Cyborg Superman on the ropes, and Cyborg Superman's finna do a self-detonation suicide, kind of like the Predator and kind of like Android 16 it does in Dragon Ball. But he tried to do in Dragon Ball before he found out they took the detonation code out. So he was finna detonate, but then he realizes, oh wait, your son isn't getting affected by the kryptonite. Then they say he's half human, and then he realizes that the basic whole thing has been a lie, because humans and aliens can coexist. He probably didn't think, oh, humans and aliens can't coexist, y'all something else. But then he realizes, you were brought back to stop me. So I have become the thing that I feared. I have become the invading force. I have become all these different things. I've become the monster. I've become the alien. I'm not even human anymore. And then he's like, oh my god, y'all can coexist. They love y'all now, not me. I am the old guard now. And so he stops the detonation before he detonates it. And I think this is going to be the last time we see him. So it's kind of all wrapped up. He says goodbye to Lois. He says goodbye to Clark. He goes back to the future. Sad, emotional thing. We're probably going to see him back because there are 5 episodes left. But then Clark reveals to Lois he lost his powers, and then it starts raining, which is climactic, because then we travel to the future and we see that Lex Luthor seems to have some type of technology that's, I think, Brainiac, or kind of like, I don't know, Brainiac kind of has a different design in this, but it kind of does look similar to that. I guess this would be his own technology. Slade's kind of has a better tech. We see a lot of cyborg Supermans. And then we see John Kent, but he has a scar on his eye and his chest, and his symbol is black and red instead of like the blue. So it's like this is gonna be parallel because he kind of resembles future Gohan when we get to the end. But he also resembles like a lot of future characters in dystopic future, like what's it called when in Dragon Ball Super when Goku Black took over. He kind of resembles a little Goku Black. But at the same time, we will see what happens with this future plot and will they continue. And I will be making a video because they are expanding with My Adventures with Green Lantern. So I'll see y'all in that. And if y'all want more My Adventures with Superman, just favorite this video, like the video, comment, give me more ideas. Like I will do recommendations and see y'all on that.